When fishing the Alabama rig, I've found that it's very, very important to be concerned with the details. In order to get the best results, I've kind of experimented a lot, and I've found that the best combination, at least for where I fish, which I'm trying to target both largemouth and smallmouth, the best rig I've found is by a company called Get Hooked Baits, and it's the rig. Once again, it's available at gethookedbaits.com. This rig is very, very, very effective. The wire length is proper, in my opinion, which gives the bait the right cadence in the water. And the wires also don't break on me. The swivels are very, very good, high quality swivel, which prevent the bait from rolling or getting tangled. So the way I spread this rig is I spread it out so that there's one center line that does not bend at all, and the other four I try and imagine as the points of a square. And I'm going to try and make sure that's as accurate as possible in order to make sure that bait runs very smoothly and truly through the water. And next important factor is the jig head. The jig head I've chosen to use and had the best success for is made out of tungsten. Tungsten obviously being a little bit heavier, it helps have that bait ride perfectly in the water. And I've just found that that little bit more slightly compacted head has a little bit better effect on the way that this bait runs. This Keitech, what they call ball head tungsten jig, has a great sharp point on it. It's a very thin wire. The next important piece, I also go with the Keitech Fat Impacts, which are a very good bait, a little swim bait, a lot of action in the tail. And also another critical factor in this whole system is the method that you rig this bait. It needs to run accurately. You have 5 baits which you need to be concerned with that run accurately in the water, track properly, don't twist up. So it's imperative that you take a little bit additional time when you prepare this bait. I make sure I'm going right through the center, very, very center of that bait, and I can look at how far that bait goes and kind of find out where my hook should come out. I also want to be crucial of the detail that I want the tail facing downward, so I need to make sure I'm coming up on the right side of the bait. And I'll feather that through very, very carefully and make sure that I'm coming up right exactly at that turn point as I found it. And I'll kind of feather it on there, and there's a groove in the back here. I don't think you can see that, but you can see it if you have one in your hand. I want to come up right in the center of that groove. That'll tell me I've rigged it true, and that bait will run properly in the water. So as you see, there's no bend in there. It's a very straight presentation. If I look at it, a lot of times I'll end up rigging it a few times just to make sure it's absolutely perfect, but it is critical. The other thing that's also a key factor when it comes to this bait is making sure it doesn't slide down. If it slides down, it starts spinning, you lose the action. What I do is I use a product called Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue I found is the best when it comes to bonding a soft plastic to a metal head. So I'll simply pull the bait down just a little bit once I know it was in the right position, and then I'm just going to dab a little bit of that right in there. Just maybe 2 drops, if you will, right between the head and that bait. And I'll pull it back a little bit, make sure I get the glue in there, and push it back up. And I'm going to hold it there for a couple seconds and blow on it just to make sure that glue starts to adhere properly. And when that's set, you can see it's a very compact, straightly rigged bait, very effective. The other factor that I found is I don't use just one color or one size. I found the best results have come when I mix the sizes and the colors. So in this case, I'm using the 2.8 male perch. I'm using the 4.8 Pro Blue Red Pearl, and then I also have one of the smaller 2.8 Silver Flash minnows. I like having a big bait in the middle and at least one big bait on the bottom. That kind of acts as a keel, if you will, and makes that Alabama rig run straight and true through the water. Okay. Once again, then, very simply hook this on there. The thing that's really nice is the Keitech eyes are perfect size for the wire. It's a little bit heavier gauge wire for that better quality swivel on that. So I'm just going to take a little additional time, look at each bait to make sure it's rigged properly, everything's straight. And once again, I have a bigger one in the middle, I have a bigger one that would be on the bottom, and then I have two additional ones that, once again, they're different colors. So when that's running through the water, there's going to be one of those that's going to trigger fish more than the others. So once again, just the little details that I found to make a big difference in whether or not I'm going to get bites on the Alabama rig or I'm not, and it really seems to make a big difference.